both credibility and transparency in our City Hall here. And I think all of you deserve to be proud of this appointment. I think you did a very good job, and it's surely a good example of the improvements that have been going on in our local government here. Lastly, and was in the same, in the Columbia, in the same newspaper article or same page as the other story about the new administrator, that our police chief did a good job. Our police chief Mitchell did a good job and successful job in keeping the Camas-Washougal Municipal Court from moving to Vancouver, which I think is a big benefit not only for Washougal but of course Camas as well. So I just like to congratulate him. I know I read in the paper that he did actually a fair amount of work on this, and he was successful in the end. And anyway, that's about it for now, and I thank all of you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Any other members of the public wishing to make comment? Dr. Martin.
Martha Martin, Washougal. I wanted to thank the members of our City Council that came to our April 14th public meeting that had Brian Sontag as our guest speaker. We had the most representation from the City of Washougal of all the members there. So Rod was there. Thank you, Rod, for being there. John was there briefly, but he was there. Thank you. And our mayor. And sorry you missed it, and I'm sure you had work.
I was flying, unfortunately. I'm sorry I couldn't
We
make
taped it. You can watch it.
Cool.
And Jennifer, thank you very much for being there. And thank you, Mr. Shoemaker, for your good questions and for Molly's presence. And it was a really good audience, and it was representation from the entire Clark County, with the exception of the City of Vancouver. Well, we won't go there. But we had people from Ridgefield, we had people from Battleground, we had lots of people who were there from ports and from city councils and citizens in that auditorium with the auditor speaking, and I think that says a lot for our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? Okay, moving into administration. Meeting minutes. You have before you the meeting minutes for the April 5 City Council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to accept the council minutes for April 5th, 2010.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to accept the minutes for the April 5th meeting. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And you also have before you the meeting minutes for the, actually some amended ones that you should have found at your seats for the April 12th workshop meeting.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to accept the amended minutes for the workshop on April 12th.
Second.
Got a motion and a second for acceptance of the workshop meetings of April 12th. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Stevenson, you have the regular AP claims in the amount of $323,222. Have the warrants been duly signed by members of the Finance Council?
Yes, they have.
Council's pleasure.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to accept the regular AP claims as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to accept the AP claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's report. I've got a couple, three quick items. One of them hopefully is quick. For those of you who saw your emails today, we are doing some continued work on the building here at Washougal City Hall. We were doing some air quality testing, which also got into radon testing. That testing was done over a 3-day period last week, the 12th to the 15th. We received those results this morning, and unfortunately our radon levels in City Hall are fairly elevated above what the EPA considers to be an acceptable level. So we've taken a number of steps already today and are in contact with both the consultants, the EPA, and some contractors to get some ventilation work done. In the meantime, we are shifting some City Hall staff to other buildings hopefully for a short duration until we've got that ventilation problem taken care of and we have acceptable levels and ways to track those inside the building. So we've got some notices out on the doorways letting folks know where different staff are located at. Other than the day or so of getting some folks temporarily relocated, I don't think we're going to see much of any delay in anything being done. Phones are transferring, the computer systems will transfer. We'll still be taking payments and processing those on a regular basis. Just to make sure everybody understands, we certainly have not evacuated City Hall. We're just doing a minor vacation of it while we do some work that we probably don't want to have staff here for anyway as we bang around in the building. So as soon as we could possibly get staff back in, we certainly will. And some staff have already made the decision to remain at their posts here in the City Hall anyway. So I don't anticipate, we'll do some additional testing this week. I don't anticipate shifting any of the workshop meetings or the council meetings. Again, Radon, and for those of you that got the emails, there were some links on there, and I'll make sure that those go up on the city website as well, to the EPA site on Radon and some additional ones as well that talk about the long-term effects and how long it takes and constant exposure to it and that type of stuff. So meetings of this type, and those of us that are in and out for just a little bit of time here and there, certainly don't seem to be of any risk at all. So if you have any questions, though, you have the EPA's direct phone number in Seattle. He is happy to take your calls. I also want to make sure I'm put on the council's calendar for those who may be available on the 28th of this month, Wednesday the 28th. We'll be doing two ceremonies here close to City Hall. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we have the annual Arbor Day poster contest that will be completed with the school children. Some of their examples were already put into chambers earlier today. But we'll be making those awards with Superintendent Baldwin starting at 2 o'clock on that Wednesday. And then following that, we also have a tree to plant. For those of you that are familiar with the annual Christmas tree that's been down in Reflection Plaza, that thing takes a little bit of work to put in every year. And some years has run upwards of $1,700 in purchasing that cut tree that is used for the season and then taken down. I authorized the staff a week or so ago to make a purchase of a large western cedar live tree that they're making space for in Reflection Plaza that will be planted that day as part of a kind of an elongated Arbor Day celebration. The kids will help us finish the planning of that day. So after we get done with the award ceremony here, we'll be moving down there and do the final job to planting that. That tree, just so you know, cost us more than it normally would. Suzanne did a phenomenal job and has what she describes as a gorgeous tree, I think it said. Just barely over $2,000 in total, but then we don't spend the money every single year. So with the staff in the Parks Department, we'll keep it trimmed and keep it in order to be able to use for many, 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 many years. So I would certainly invite you, if you're available on the 28th, to come down for both of those ceremonies. Council comments. Any items from council members?
I do.
John?
As we just heard from Ms. Angelo about the issue of the medical marijuana, this is the second or third discussion we've had about marijuana-related issues in regards to the city. One of